Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Highrise City, and welcome back to New Belfast. Things are going pretty well at the moment. We are at 66,500 people. We have $4.7 million, although we're losing a little bit of that right now. And we have tourism, which is something we are going to need to focus on just a little bit today. I did mention at the end of the last episode that I do want to start dealing with the demand that these guys have for things like a bar and for a cruise port as well. But before we deal with any of that, we have some other pressing issues at the moment. Some of our productions aren't necessarily holding up anymore, such as bakery products. We are producing 48, consuming 50. Beer is producing 6, consuming 7. And I'm sure there are some other things in here that are in similar situations, although it seems like there's maybe not, and it maybe just is a beer thing. The good news is hops production is fantastic, so I'm relatively sure that we could just go straight into industry, straight into food, straight into beer, and then it is a lot of wheat and not as many hops. So let's take a very quick look at the wheat situation. We should be good. Let's get ourselves another brewery. We have one right here. This one is, I'm kind of hoping I can get it to fit in here somewhere. It doesn't really look like it's going to. It might end up down here. Is there anywhere along the coast that I could put this thing? It isn't really seeming like that's going to be the case. So we'll just go for down here. Relatively straightforward, relatively simple. That gives us beer production of 12, consumption of 8. Our hops production is 16, consumption is 10. Wheat production is a problem. Okay, we are going to want to get ourselves another wheat farm in that case. We have got this huge one right here, which, I mean, it's doing well for itself, but I think we'll just get our hands on another one right about here. This is going to be production 11. It would be nice if that was a bit better, but honestly, we'll do production 11 and it should be fine. So it's going to live right there. That should sort out all of our problems. When it comes to bakery products, we want to go back into food. We want to go back into bakery products, and we want to have a look at the bakery itself, which is going to be consuming flour. If we look there, flour production is 60, consumption is 48. This is going to be consuming 5. So I think we can maybe get away. Ooh, that's a really good spot, but it is right next to some houses. I'm sort of thinking up here is maybe where this little bakery is going to live. I think right there is a good spot for the bakery. That gives us 54 production, 50 consumption. I think that puts us in a good spot. I think everything else is doing just fine right now. So now I'd like to have a look at getting some of the touristy things that these guys are going to be looking for. Specifically, well, we're going to need a coffee. Hold on, what does this need? So this needs coffee. Coffee beans can only be purchased through trade. That's kind of a pain, but we can figure that out. And then milk comes from a dairy farm, which is going to need that ferroconcrete. So we're going to need to start looking into that if we want to get them coffee. Okay, we can work on that. In terms of getting a bar, it's going to need wine. Now, wine, can we make that right now? Is that an option? We have got spirits. We have got beer. We don't have wine. Is that's the next milestone. Interesting. So getting the bar might be slightly tricky unless we just import the wine, which I'd really rather not do. And then the cruise port is going to need coffee and it's going to need cake. So I'm tempted to say that we go back over to industry, we go back into food, and we have a look at cake to start with. So we have got pastry shops and they can make cakes. They're going to be using eggs and flour to do it. So we're going to need a chicken farm to get ourselves some eggs. So wait, this isn't a farm. This is a contained building. I was going to put it up there, but I don't actually need to. It could just go down here at the docks, which I'm sort of tempted to do. I feel like it would make more sense to put chicken farms just way out here instead though. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 4 of them for now. That's going to be way, way more than we need, but it sort of future-proofs us a little bit, which I'm kind of okay with. And if we go in and have a look at eggs, that now gives us a production of 16, which is beautiful. So that'll keep us good there. So that's the eggs absolutely covered. The flour production, if we have a look again, is 60, consumption 53. So we should be able to get away with a pastry shop. I'm very tempted though, because wheat production is 102. Let's see, you consume 10. So if it's 102 and that's 96, that's not going to be enough. So we would need more wheat if I wanted to double all of this up. And I'm kind of inclined to do that. So I'm going to put another wheat farm just up here to push that up a little bit. I'm going to get myself another mill, which I'm tempted to put down here just because it's not the worst place in the world for it. So we'll put a mill right here just for the hell of it. And that should mean that wheat production is 117, consumption is 106. Our flour production is 72, consumption is 53, which means that building a pastry shop really shouldn't be a problem now, which is good. That's what we're looking for. Now, you guys are going to be missing some resources. That's okay. There's no police and no fire in range either. We can deal with that. I think for now, what I'd like to do is get myself a little pastry shop. Honestly, right about there seems like the perfect spot for it. And in theory, that should help us out with these apartment complexes because they also want cake. So it's kind of a win-win across the board. We're getting we're killing two birds with one stone. Is such a dark way of putting that. Like it's a really, really odd saying, and I don't love it, but I don't know what to replace it with. So I don't know. Suggestions in the comments, please, for what phrase would be a little bit better than killing two birds with one stone. Why do you guys not have water now? What just happened? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know why the game does this, but sometimes it just randomly deletes some of the pipes, and it's really frustrating because I have to go in and just replace, well, all of them every single time. But we can do this. We'll bring this up this little road here to about that spot, and that should keep us good. We'll bring it up to here as well. We are going to need to... Are there any pipes going between there? No, you are covered. You are not covered though. So we'll bring a little water pipe down here. Might as well bring it down this way and down to there as well. And then there's no connection here either. That's so strange the way it does that. Is that everything covered though? It should be. No, some of you guys might need coverage as well. So let's just bring some pipes all the way down to here, all the way up to there. And hopefully we're good now. It might take a second for it to catch up and realize that they all have water now, but here's hoping that happens a little bit sooner than later. What is this? So 745 buildings have a water problem. Oh no, there we go. It's getting there. We also just had a massive unemployment problem, but I think it's mostly gone away, which is good. We do have some unemployment issues up here. This guy needs 238 more workers. These guys need workers as well. They also need fire and the policing nearby. So we'll give them a little police department right there. We'll give them a little fire department right next door. That'll keep them happy. They're just going to need some workers. Now you are not connected to anything right now. Let me just get you connected back to the grid right there. And that should be everything connected now. And that'll hopefully get rid of that water problem, which it did. Okay. I got slightly distracted with what was going on there, but we should, in theory, start to see some cakes come through here. Oh, production is 3, consumption is 3. That's worrying. Okay. So you guys, these are the chicken farms. Oh, that makes sense. We only built one of these things. And also, it still needs eggs, which is fair enough. Let's, I guess, build a second one of these guys just to allow us to stockpile the cakes a little bit. So we'll do one here. We'll do one, you know what? We'll do 2 of them. We'll have 3 in total and see how that goes. And we can sort of backtrack a little bit and make sure we're okay. So production 9, consumption 3. They are consuming flour and eggs. So eggs is 16 and 5. Flour is, how are we looking? 72.65. So we are good. We will have a surplus of cakes, which I'm absolutely okay with. We can maybe export those for a decent little bit of money as well if we have a look at the trade menu. So we are importing spices. We are exporting glass. We're exporting iron. We are exporting ready meals, and we're exporting flour. I'm going to stop exporting flour, and I'm going to say I want to export cakes, which are worth so much more, but I want to stockpile up to like 500 of them first. So that seems like a potential way to make some good money if we get around to actually having 500 cakes. But the thing is, we need workers. There's no one working in any of the pastry shops. There's no one working down here. So let's just start filling out some more of this space in here with some relatively low density houses with the craftsman zones. And my hope in doing this is that it's going to be enough to get us at least some people out here and working in all of these businesses. We don't seem to have any complaints up there. We still have some complaints down here, but for the most part, it looks like it's gone away. The chickens are laying eggs, which is great. Let's have a look at our wheat situation. 117, 106, that's perfect. Beer is doing fine. Bakery goods are doing fine. We are doing good with vegetables. We are consuming more fruit than we are producing. That's something we're going to have to deal with. So let's very quickly figure that one out. We have this space up here, which is maybe a little bit weird to build a farm in, but I'm thinking I'm going to anyway, because I think it's about the best thing I can do. So build those roads, connect them together like this. That's a bit of a weird space. It's definitely a little bit odd, but you know what? We'll just turn it into a fruit farm. And I think the best place to put I'm just thinking right in the middle of the road, honestly. It is going to need some way to get its garbage collected. So regional haulage company, I don't know that I want to expand you. That's a local garbage collector. That's a regional haulage company. Let's just expand you to cover that building, which you now do. Power isn't getting out to you though. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, it's a small electric. That's why. We can replace that electrical substation and everything will be fine. In terms of garbage collection, let's expand you a little like so. And let's get you some water, since that's going to be a little bit more straightforward. Just bringing a pipe right down underneath that road. And then for you, you go away and get replaced with one of the medium substations. We can connect you like so. And hopefully, by the looks of it, that is going to be providing power, which it does. So that should sort out the fruit problem, right? 101.94. Perfect. Okay. So what was I even trying to do? I got really caught up in just, I get really lost in the sauce there with just focusing on all the different numbers. I guess what we were trying to do was get to a point where we can build something like the cruise port or the bar. We realized, I think, that we cannot, in fact, build the bar unless we start importing wine, which, I mean, we could absolutely do that, but we could also, because we have all the cake production, we could start working towards the cruise port, assuming we do, in fact, have an excess of flyers, which we sort of don't. Interesting. Okay. So in that case, we'll go back. We'll have a look at flyers. Now, my paper production is something I need to be mindful of when it comes to flyers. Paper production is 9, while consumption is 8. So I think what we want to do is have a look at my lumber, which is 145, consumption 149. So what we'll do is get ourselves another building set up for, I suppose, making paper. It can go right down here. We are going to need to get ourselves more lumber production. What is this guy? Let's see. Close you for a second. So you are the medium logger, and fundamentally I am sort of thinking just out here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. That was minimum 100%, which I'm completely okay with. That brings my log production to 187, which is absolutely where I want it to be. So the paper mill is working, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I'm getting kind of lost in the numbers here, but production 13, consumption 8, that is fine. That gives us a +5. So when it comes to making the flyers, we're in a good little spot right there. So build you. We're still going to need all of the colors to make that happen, but that's totally fine because that should give us enough flyers for the cruise port. We should also have enough cake for the cruise port. The only thing we don't have now is the coffee, which we're going to need dairy for, which needs ferroconcrete. So that leaves me no choice but to deal with ferroconcrete. Now, so the cement concrete factory, oh boy. So ferroconcrete is made from steel and whatever this is, cement. Oh. So this needs coal, quartz, and limestone. So limestone, do we have lime? We have limestone here. We have limestone there. Oh, hold on a minute. That's actually not in a, it's not in a great spot, but we do have $5.1 million. Can I cannot buy, oh, I can buy more land. How much? 6.1 million. Nah, I don't think so. Somehow do not think so. Okay. Is there any limestone over here in my land? No. Oh, this makes things tricky. This definitely makes things tricky. I think what we're going to have to do then is get rid of this wheat farm and move it, I guess, out to here is sort of where it can go. I'm not really too worried about all of that. So I'm going to bring this to here, I guess. I'm going to bring this road to here and connect those guys together. I am going to bring this road down to, honestly, right there, and then just get rid of this one. So that entire thing is just going to be a wheat farm, and that should be totally fine. Are you production warehouse full? That's fine. Okay. So am I able to just click on you and relocate? It doesn't seem like it. So what we'll do is just go into industry. We'll get ourselves into here. We'll get ourselves a wheat farm and production 29. I'm okay with that. We'll build it right there. We have you producing a lot, but not as much as the new one. So you get bulldozed. This road needs to get bulldozed. And then we need to go into ferroconcrete. We need to go to limestone quarry. And it basically needs to live right there. 100%, 80,000. It's a bit expensive to build. I'm kind of wondering, 70% is not good, but I'm going to get it anyway, just so I can hopefully, I don't know. I'm hoping that 2 of these will be enough to do what I really need it to do. It's going to be interesting to see if that kind of works out. I suppose we can take a look at limestone, whatever the icon for it is. Limestone right there. Production 16. That's actually pretty good. We're gonna need workers for these. Quite a few workers, but we'll figure it out. Let's have a look. So we need coal, quartz, and limestone. Where where do I get quartz in all of this business? That's not a higher level mine, is it? So it's only you guys. Do we have quartz mines by any chance? Ferroconcrete. Oh, I don't. We do. We have a quartz quarry right there. Okay. Well, that's good to know. That definitely, yeah. So quartz quarries right here. We have 2 of them already. Do I have anywhere that I can put it? Wait, where do I have quartz quarries? So excavates quartz, which can be later processed. No deposit nearby. Where? Oh, over here. That makes perfect sense. Okay. How is my quartz doing then? Do we have enough of it for me to just kind of go nuts with this production? 10, 5. How much do you consume? You consume 8. So I would need more quartz quarries, which means moving a corn farm as well, I think. Man, that's unfortunate. In fact, moving, well, yeah, the corn farm should be fine. I can get a couple of quarries in there, I think. Okay, well, it is what it is. It's what we got to do. We gotta get that quartz. So let's do exactly that, I guess. Let's bring you out to about there, bring you up to about there, bring you across, and honestly, we'll bring this straight down to well, yeah, we'll go to that intersection. That's fine. Let's bulldoze you, which gives me this space for the corn farm that we're looking for. So we want to wait, which one is, where does, oh God, I've forgotten where there's the corn. Okay. So the corn farm is going to live here, which is perfectly fine, which means you need to go away. So much renovation. It's a lot that I'm trying to stay on top of. I'm trying not to rush through it right now, but I feel like I'm definitely rushing a little bit, but we'll be okay. 80% on that is fine by me. That'll hopefully give us a decent little buffer. So 20. Okay. So that puts us in a good spot. That means that we're now dealing with enough quartz. We're dealing with enough limestone. Do we have enough coal is my next question. Because if we do, 39, 32, this consumes 4. That is fine. We can build the cement and concrete factory, which would fit right in there. But I think because it's so industrial, it probably belongs down here somewhere. So can I spin it around and get it sideways on the coast? I absolutely can. That is about the worst possible place that I could build a cement factory, is right on the coast. But we have this huge industrial whatever here. So I think, honestly, that's where it's going to go, is right on the coast. So this is good. This now makes concrete, which is needed for ferroconcrete, which needs steel. Steel is made from 2 iron, 2 coal. My coal production can support that. My iron production can also support that. Okay, so we need a steel blast furnace, which can live right across the road from that guy. That means we're now making steel, which means, are we making enough of this? We are. We can now get a ferroconcrete factory, which is going to live right here. Okay, that now gives us everything that we needed to make ferroconcrete, which means that production for that should start up relatively quickly. Who doesn't have water? You guys don't have water. Okay, well, that's slightly surprising, but fair enough. We'll bring this pipe underneath all these roads, and that should sort all of you guys out. You are missing resources and missing workers. So workers is kind of the new big thing that we need again. We have a lot of resources though, so let's, I don't know if I want to do engineers or employees. I'm going to do, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fill out this little space with employees. So I think what we'll do is bring a 4-lane road sort of down through to say here. And I'm going to bring just a regular road kind of up like this. I kind of want to go underneath that, that bridge actually. That seems like a great idea. So we'll go to here and we'll curve a little something like that for now. And that should be fine. I don't know that I want to connect to that intersection, but I don't know that I'm going to have any choice but to do that. So, oh, it's really doesn't want me to do that, does it? It's having some troubles there. I want to go straight out here, man. I'm not interested in the weird angle. So we'll do this, which is actually pretty good. That worked out. Then for here, we're gonna come out and we're gonna try to get a nice little curve on this this coastline, which we absolutely did. That seems fine by me. That seems like a great place for some new people. Although I think I'm also going to do the same thing in here. So we'll go like this. And I'm just going to go straight across, I think. I'm not going to get too crazy with the... Yeah, we'll just do that. It's not perfect zoning, but I think it's good enough. The game has kind of shown that perfect zoning really doesn't matter all that much. So that'll give us plenty of space for some slightly lower density housing, which is kind of what I'm looking for. So we'll go in with employees Yeah, I think employees is the way to go here. So I don't really want to build anything on this road, but again, I don't think the game's traffic simulation really matters or cares all that much, at least not yet. So all this space can be built out like this. I would like to not build underneath that bridge, but I don't know that the game's even going to try. Oh, no, it is. It is absolutely trying. Let's not do that. Let's not have anything under the bridge. But that looks pretty good. That looks great, actually. I like that a lot. I do. That's also a really nice boost to the population. We do have quite a few of them unemployed, but we'll absolutely manage, and we'll get them some jobs there shortly. We'll also get them some water, because that's something I keep forgetting to do every time I build roads. It's an ongoing problem, as well as power, surprisingly. Where exactly? So we have a medium electrical substation here. I was kind of hoping I wouldn't have to put a substation anywhere near this space, but I guess what we'll do is take out these few bits of power line, and we'll go in and just get ourselves just another medium substation right here, and then just connect it all together. So you go to there, you go to there. That should sort everybody out, and that should be good. So these guys will all have power, they all have water, they are hopefully all going to get jobs relatively quickly. And that should mean, assuming this is all connected together, which it is, yeah. My hope is that even though they're going to have a relatively long commute if they're working over here, my hope is that, in theory, I mean, you need 22 more workers. I'm kind of looking at this. No, that is filling up a little bit. Yeah, they're going to have a really long commute to get there, but for the most part, it seems like most of them are good. It seems that the unemployment's kind of fluctuating back and forth there, which is really annoying, but it seems like we're doing okay. We are oh, I forgot about consumption again. I really forgot about consumption again across the board, didn't I? Okay. So vegetables, production 116, consumption 122. Oh boy. We're getting into some trouble with the farms. We're definitely getting into some difficult territory with the farms here. Let's how do I want to deal with this? Let's build out some space here where we can kind of just build another battery of farms. I know the word battery on this channel is one that we don't love as much as we used to, but that is essentially what this little farming plan is. So that's room for one little small farm here and then 4 decently sized ones here. I think what I might do is cut into this one a little bit, or yeah, probably this central one actually, because we are going to need to get ourselves a little bit of transport. So we could do a national haulage company. I don't know that we need a national haulage company in here, to be quite honest. It does seem like a little bit excessive, but we'll do it anyway. We can also get ourselves a little bit of garbage coverage in here as well. We could go for the city garbage collector, which again is probably not necessary, but I think that's what we're going to go for. And that should be fine. We can then do some roads going around these guys. And that's just going to be a little bit of a smaller farm, but I'm sort of okay with that. So let's have a look. The vegetables situation is problematic. So a vegetable farm is going to live right there. Production 7. Is that going to be enough? That is going to be exactly enough. Interesting. In which case, I want to overdo it a little bit. What is this one? Production 6? Okay, this is production 10. So vegetables will go there. We're now 129, 123. That's good. The fruit farm could arguably go in here because it just needs a difference of 4, and this will give us a difference of 6. So that helps sort out the fruit situation. So both of those should have a positive production again, which they do. The spirits, we're going to have to look into those. They're consuming corn. Let's just get ourselves another distillery. I'm sure the corn situation is fine. I would really hope that it is, but that should keep us good on spirits. Clothing is slightly problematic right now. Let's have a little look into our wool situation. 53.49, and you consume 9. Interesting. Okay. So I might need more sheep farms is what I'm seeing here. That's it's a little bit worrying, but I think that's kind of what we're gonna have to do here. We also happen to need more bakery products by quite a little bit actually, which has me really worried because I think we're gonna need 2 bakeries. So we're at 54 production, 61 consumption. Add 5 to that, 59. So yeah, we do need 2 more bakeries. Don't love that. I don't love that. That is a little concerning. I'm thinking we will have to use this space. A bakery is about the only thing I'm really going to fit in there within reason. And I think up here we will try to sort of do the same thing. We'll do a little bakery right there. And that should keep us good on the baked goods, which is fine. So you are turning flour into bread. Flour is now at a negative as well. Oh man. Let me get a little flour mill right there. So 84.75, and the wheat is doing just fine. So that should sort out the bakery products problem. Oh man. We're good on vegetables. We're good on fruit. Are we bad on fish? We are bad on fish. We're bad on everything apparently. This is great. It's just great. It's totally great. It's not like we have so many fishing piers already, but we'll get another one. That'll keep us good on fish. We are not doing so well with toys. That's something we can kind of pick up on a little bit in a moment. I'm not super worried about that. Concrete's doing fine. We have got some ferro concrete in storage now, which is great. Oh man, I feel like I've spent the last 30 minutes just rattling off number after number after number. I couldn't even, I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't even begin to tell you what I've done in, like, I know I've built these guys and moved things around and blah, 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 but I feel like I'm just 150 miles per hour with everything I'm trying to like balance and stay on top of and figure out and be like, oh, I need to do that, but I need to do that, and then I need to balance this, but that knocks into, it's such a, I know it's the point of the game is that it's, you know, cause and effect, and that's the whole idea, but man, it's a lot. Ooh, we can also improve the quartz quarry. That is huge. That I am absolutely going to do. That will make life so much easier in the long run and should give us a nice little bonus to our quartz production, which is here, 2811. That's good. Okay. I am okay with this. So ferro concrete, well, what did we even need it for? I've forgotten. I keep just drawing a blank on what we're doing. It was the coffee thing, right? No, it was the dairy farm. Yeah, the dairy farm for some reason needs ferro concrete and also happens to need its own chunk of land. So 6 right there. What do you consume? 2? All right. I'm going to do the dairy farm right here. And that'll be our cows. That's where they can live. They can live right in here, and hopefully hopefully it's gonna be good. Oh god, it's a lot. It's so much. Oh, there they are. Oh, it puts little trees around it as well. That's great. That's actually great. I like that a lot. Okay. Run some pipes down there. That'll keep the dairy farm happy. That should mean that other than the lack of coffee beans, which we're going to have to import, we can now build coffee roasters, which, is it a factory or is it a cafe? What are you? You're definitely not a cafe. You're definitely like a factory, but you're not. I would doubt this thing pollutes. I don't know. I don't know where it should go. Let's, I don't know, squeeze it in here. Maybe. I don't think there's any room down here anymore. Any room in here? Oh, there's a little bit right there. Okay. What way does this thing align to the road? That way? So we want it to go, we'll go right there with it. Okay, so that gives us coffee. That's good. We just don't have coffee beans, which is bad. So how do I get another trade route? I've completely forgotten. Build more ports. Okay. I can build more ports. That's easy enough. So wait, I have the small port. I have the large port. Ooh, where am I putting you? Can I get you like down here? It's colliding with stuff, which I don't love. Oh, I can get it right there though. I think. Yeah, that actually seems like it'll work. So let's do that for the large port. And can I bring some roads right down to this thing? Like, can I go? I don't know that this is going to work. I want to go, hold on. The roads are being weird again. I want to go from like there. So from this part of the road straight. I'm going to have to turn off snapping to make this work. So you're going to come down to there. You're going to go to there. Can I like turn off angle snapping as well? I don't think I can. Oh man, this is going to be a little odd, but I'm going to make it work. I want it to go there, and I want you, no, I want you to go there, I guess. That's great. That's the worst thing I've ever built. That's disgusting looking. What is this? A building is on fire. What? I just built you. What do you mean you are on fire? How are you on fire? I just built you. I cannot believe. Okay. All right. You know what? We'll build a medium fire department, and it can live right there. And I'll build a little medium police department, and it can live, I'm going to say right next to it. So we're going to go there. I'm going to get myself a little road, and I'd like that little road to go right here, which it's not going to let me do, is it? Because this road's way too close. So you can go away. This little road is going to exist right there. This little road is not allowed to exist, but that's fine. Let's just put the fire out, and then I'd like to move Port Piper to not be as terrible looking as it is. I can't believe it caught fire instantly. All right, so this is built and looking a little better than it did, which is great. I also went ahead and placed a bunch more of these apartment buildings, which does mean that we're now consuming more vegetables and consuming more fruit and almost consuming more spirits. We are consuming more clothing as well. I think it might be an idea to just be a little bit cheeky and go in here and clear some of you out, because I don't think we need that many people right now. The lack of vegetables is deeply concerning, but we do now have that surplus in production, so hopefully that'll bounce back. The fruit situation, slightly worrying, but hoping for things to bounce back a little bit there as well. Regardless, as long as we have enough workers, we can trade, which is great. And apparently, okay, so the bigger port is it doesn't give me more than one trade thing. Okay, that's fine. I need to buy coffee is what I need to buy. So these guys are sort of expensive. I would like to buy up to like, I don't know, 25 of them, I guess. I don't know if 25 is too many, too little. I don't know if it makes a difference. Regardless, we should be able to make coffee, and that should keep us pretty good. Now, this fruit situation doesn't seem to be, doesn't really, I mean, it's leveling out. I think my biggest concern right now is this vegetable situation. So let's get ourselves another vegetable farm right here, just to bring this up to 147. Yeah, 147, 126. That's a little bit healthier, I think, for our production. So now, how's clothing doing? 46, 46, that's fine. How is coffee doing? Coffee should be production 4, which will take time because we have to import things, but that's fine. We should have milk. We should have coffee. I think we have, yeah, coffee roasters. We have the dairy farm. So we now have a source of coffee, which should mean that I can now build the cruise port, right? That's no water within reach. That's fine. The cruise ports does have to go on the coast, which makes sense. 100% makes sense. I don't know why any part of me thought it wouldn't go directly on the coast. Where am I going to put this thing is the real question. I'm kind of tempted to try and get rid of this pylon. In fact, I think that's exactly what I'll do. I'm going to just bulldoze you, and cruise ports can live. I mean, I hate the fact that there's a little subway station kind of making it weird, but cruise port's going to go, it's going to go there, which gives us bus stops relatively close by, I think. And then somehow I need to reconnect this whole power thing because, you know, that's a bit of a big deal. So you and you get connected together. Oh, that's fine. Okay. So now we have a cruise port. You guys, attraction has low quality. Interesting. Okay. All right. I wasn't expecting that. So you need all of those things. That's fine. Number of apartments within range 150. We've got City Tour 2. City Tour 2 is at 235%? Wait. Capacity there. Ridership 235. Oh. We might want the large bus on the, well, the medium bus. No, you know what? We'll do the large. No, we'll do the medium. No, you know what? We'll do the large. 61%. That's pretty good. So that'll keep us good. That should be good for us. What is this? In addition to garbage, the game also contains hazardous materials, or hazardous waste, sorry, mainly produced by mines. When the global hazardous waste storage facility runs out of capacity, buildings such as the iron mine cannot function properly, therefore you should build reprocessing plants. Why is it telling me that? Is it because we've got buildings over here that aren't functioning properly now? I don't like that the game is giving me that reminder. That has me very, very concerned. We also have huge demand right now for residential zoning and office zoning, which is worrying given that we are also in need of just way more production for way more things. Man, we're not struggling. I'm not struggling right now, but I'm definitely having a moment where I'm sort of just trying to stay on top of things, really. That's kind of where I'm at. Just trying to stay on top of things as much as I possibly can. We do have the ability to build office zone complex 4s. I kind of want to see what these buildings look like. I'm going to be honest. So I think we're going to build ourselves a little cluster of them right there and then just get our, actually, you know what? Just let it build. I just want to see what they look like. Even if it's not a great place for them, I'm very, very curious to see if they're much taller than these guys. And it looks like absolutely. Those are actually really cool. This one's really cool looking. Okay, so what are their demands? You want parking, you want an exhibition, you want canteens, you want advanced training. That all checks out. That all makes sense. I guess what I can do for now, since the exhibition is, well, if I can get the bricks for it, I could build it. The tools as well. It's a lot of materials, but I absolutely could. Advanced training as well. We can totally build that. We'll put it right there. That should make all of you guys a little bit happier now that it's right nearby. The canteen could potentially slip into this little space. I'm kind of not against that. What does it consume? It consumes ready meals, which we have plenty of. So that really should get you guys to be a little bit happier. The only thing you're missing now is parking, which, given that we have a lot of people complaining about, you know, jobs, why don't I just bulldoze some buildings that are complaining about the jobs and, you know, put a nice car park in here? That seems like a very sensible thing to do. But that should make them happier, right? That should, you know, give them what they wanted in that they've now got space to park. At least I'm assuming that's what they wanted, and, you know, they weren't lying to me, which is definitely a possibility, but I will say it's a little unlikely. Okay, so with all of these guys built, we're having a lot of complaints about not enough workers. We're having the complaints in some of the touristy areas. We are having the complaints in a lot of my industry and most of my farms. So across the board, we need huge amounts of residential zoning. My worry in doing that is that we maybe don't have the infrastructure to support massively expanding my residential zoning. I would still like to do that, and we are going to have to do that because we're losing a lot of money, and we need something like $6.5 million to expand the map any further. Now, in saying that, we could and probably will build a bridge over to this space and start using it for some zoning as well. Or we could start moving farms across to the other side and start expanding the city into this space where these farms exist. That is something I would like to do, is start expanding the city sort of that way and move the farms across the water. But that's a bit of a longer term plan. I think what we'll do for today, though, is leave it there, because as I've said a couple of times, I'm going 150 miles per hour in this episode so far, and on one hand, I don't feel like I've done much. On the other, we did start getting ferroconcrete production going, which is fantastic, and it is going, which is great. And I'm almost tempted to say, I mean, if we look at our cakes production right now, how are we looking? If I can even see them, 460. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock this down to 300 for now. So anything over 300 we will sell, and that's some profit, which is fantastic. I'm going to do the same with the glass because frankly, we're not consuming it all that much. And the iron, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to get rid of the iron trade for a second and have a look at the ferroconcrete one. It sells for a lot more. So we're going to sell 250 and above on ferroconcrete. 6,000. That's, I mean, we're making it. We're not using it that much. It is just a construction material. So that's potentially a lot of money coming in there. It is sort of shifting our trade around a little bit, but it's hopefully going to be good. But I think what we'll do is leave it there for today. We can focus on getting more vegetables, fruit, food, stuff like that, and focus on boosting the population and growing the population in the next episode. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.